Hello, my name is Diana Keeler and I'm going to be your instructor for this course. In this first tutorial, we'll cover how to get Premiere Rush, importing your footage, creating a sequence, basic editing tools, and exporting. Let's start with the basics. Premiere Rush is a mobile and desktop application used for video editing. It's easy to use across all your devices, and it'll transform the way you create content. For this demo, I'm going to be using Rush on my MacBook Pro, but you can follow along on your phone, tablet, or desktop computer. You can even switch from one to another. The video that I'm playing in the background is a sneak peek of what you can create. If you don't already have Premiere Rush installed, you can find it in your Creative Cloud desktop app or by going to the Adobe website. Premiere Rush is included in your Creative Cloud subscription. Before we get started, you'll want to gather some media for your project. I've created a folder with some footage and B-roll of my students that I'm going to use. I've saved this to my Creative Cloud files and can easily access them in Premiere Rush. To begin, we'll open Premiere Rush and create a new project. I'll navigate to my folder where I've saved my files. You don't have to save your files on your Creative Cloud. You can also save it to a local location on your computer or mobile device. I'm going to navigate over to the Premiere Rush media folder I created. And what's great about this window is you can import the media in the order in which you select it. So for example, I know I would first like my intro video, followed by my shots of the editing lab, equipment, and friends, and then I'm going to end with my outro video. If you're not sure what order you want your footage to be in, that's okay. You can always change the order around later. This helps me kind of organize my clips as I'm bringing them in to save a little bit of time down the road. I'll give my project a name, and I'll click the blue Create button in the lower right-hand corner. It'll prepare my media and import it into a sequence in Premiere Rush. Now I'm ready to begin editing. If you realize you forgot to include some media, you can always add more media as you're working by clicking on this blue button in the upper left-hand corner. And you can click on Media to bring you back to your media bins. Underneath the Add button, I can also see my bin that includes all of my assets I currently have in my project. So to begin editing, I'm going to cover some of the basic tools that you'll be using. All right, so our first tool is our scissors. And if I hover over any of these tools, it'll also show you a brief video of what they do. So we can see that the scissors is useful for splitting a clip. You can also see these all have keyboard shortcuts as well. To split, we could press S on the keyboard. And what this allows me to do is move my playhead to a certain spot within a clip. And when I click on the scissors, it has now split my clip in that part. So this is really useful to split up a clip, to delete it, or to take a section and move that on to another part of your sequence. And what's great about this is it's really easy to use and really intuitive. Again, we're just moving our playhead over to the section where we want to split and clicking the scissors to cut that in half. I'm going to undo, so Command Z on a Mac or Control Z on a PC. The next tool that I want to cover is duplicate. So underneath the scissors, we have a duplicate tool, and it is pretty self-explanatory. All I want to do is select the clip first, and when I press that button, it is going to duplicate that clip or make a copy of it. So this is great if you have something that you want repeated, or if you want it to use an establishing shot over again later in your sequence. Our next tool underneath duplicate is delete, and this is useful for removing clips from your timeline. So let's say that I first split a clip and I realize I don't want this first section. I can then click on it, have it highlighted, and press the delete button to remove it from my sequence. I'm going to Command Z or undo. Underneath those three basic tools, we have some other options. Our first thing is to expand our audio. So this is really useful to see first what audio you do have in your sequence, and also to see approximate volume levels. So my first clip is a great example. We actually don't have any audio as I'm moving down the hallway. And then when TNA turns around, we can see that she's starting to talk over here. So this is a great way of helping your editing out, so I can see all my B-roll does not contain audio. And then as I get to the end and TNA concludes our video, we have some audio of her talking again. We'll talk about audio a little bit more in our second video, but I usually edit with these expanded so that I can see what clips have audio and kind of get an approximate volume level. And I can see the volume by seeing how high the waveform goes. You can also expand your controlled tracks. So this is useful for locking a track if you don't want to make any more edits, but maybe you're working on a different video track or a different audio track and you want to make sure you don't accidentally slide things around. You have the option to lock a track. You can mute and unmute the track audio, again, just by clicking the button, or you can show and hide the video of a track. So right underneath our viewer, we have the option to enter a full screen view and we can see what's happening there. We can also loop the playback over a certain area. And then I also have this really fun change orientation button, where if I click that, I can see what my video might look like if I exported it in a portrait mode, or if I wanted to make it a square for Instagram. So this is really useful because as you can see down here, it's actually reformatted my entire sequence into that format. So Premiere Rush is really great for exporting mobile and social media video really quickly and effectively. So for this week, we're creating a rough cut of our video, and basically what we're looking for is getting all of our media in the order that we want it, and kind of cut to the duration that we want as well. When I'm done with my rough cut, I'm going to come up here to the upper left corner and share. I'm going to give my file a name. And I'm always going to make sure I know where I'm saving it. So I'm going to click the folder icon and that's going to pull up my Finder and allow me to pick specifically where I want to save this file. Under Advanced Settings, my resolution and frame rate are set to whatever I had in my current timeline, so generally you won't have to change these. What's awesome over here on the left-hand side is you can immediately share your exported video on a variety of different platforms like YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, or Behance. So if you wanted to do that, you would turn on that slider as well, and you can sign directly into your social media account to post directly. You can even set whatever you want the thumbnail to be for your video. And once I'm done with my settings, I'm going to press export, and you can see that it will render and export your video.
Hi everyone, thanks for watching. Click the link in the description below to explore more free online professional development on the Adobe Education Exchange. And click the link on screen to subscribe to the channel for more videos.